This is to teach you how to make kombucha. So you're probably going to get a SCOBY, this organism, like you see it's stacked in here, from someone, or you order off the internet, yada yada yada, with some jizz with it from the previous kombucha batch. You want that. Anyway, so on your end, you get glass jars, gallon size. If you work at a restaurant, have the bartenders or anyone who saves, or deals with olive jars, save it for you because you need glass. Or go to Costco and get some pickles in a big glass jar. That'll work. Save the glass jar. It has to be in glass. Anyway, the ratio when you're making your tea, you choose whatever tea you want. It needs to be 8 packets per 1 gallon, 1 cup of sugar per gallon. It does not have to be that bleached CNH animal bone sugar. Some people tell you on these YouTube sites you need to use. No, not at all. You could grab fucking organic cane sugar. Costco sells it. That's non-genetically modified. Do it. Anyway, you boil that shit up, let it steep. When it gets room temperature, you put your SCOBY on top, right? And you put a little of that SCOBY jizz on it. And that little juice from the last batch is going to keep mold from, getting into this shit. And that'll be incredibly apparent. The SCOBY's going to turn some gross colors and stuff, but don't worry about that. After that's done, you can see on this bottle, I have a coffee filter and a hair tie over it. And it's going to let the air come out because it's fermenting. It's going to be producing carbon, right? Because when you open the SCOBY bottles, psst, they pop like a beer or a champagne. Same logic, actually, because it's brewed the same way. Not the same way, but you get my point, hopefully. And you'll see like various YouTube videos where people say, oh, you don't need a coffee filter. You could use a shirt or a sock like that weird cult lady Californian kombucha queen does. I mean, she was very helpful when I was learning, but if you put a sock over this shit, you can't tell how stretched the fibers are. And the ultimate goal is to block flies and ants from getting in here. So just get a fucking coffee filter. Don't use a fucking sock or anything cheap like that. And so when you got your tea chilled, SCOBY on it, SCOBY jizz, and your filter, whatever, now it's time to put it in a dark place, no sunlight, for at least a week. Taste it throughout the time. See how tangy you like it. And then when you're ready for its tanginess, you bottle it. Save these GT Synergy glass cups, because growler lids you can buy at like the brewing store if you live in Kitsap County. Olympic Brewing's amazing. They also sell a raspberry puree and all kinds of organic purees that are non-GMO that you could put to flavor your kombucha, because when you bottle your kombucha, you need to put a little something sugary in there. Prefer fresh fruit puree, because what's going to do when you lit it and put it in a dark place again, it's going to activate the little yeasts in it and get bubbly. And so the longer you keep it out of the fridge, because refrigeration stops fermentation. Do not put your SCOBYs in the fridge. Don't fucking do it. No matter how many of your hippie friends say do it, do not do it. Let it chill. It needs a warm environment and with no light. So you see I got a bunch of bottles up here. Maybe you don't. This is a raspberry one. I'm going to keep this out of the light for at least 4 days in the bottle. Then you can refrigerate it, because the more time you have it fermenting in here in a warm temperature, the more bubbles and pops it's going to have. So, I think I got everything up in this shit. Oh, anyway, so you're like, I don't fucking have a SCOBY. How am I going to make a SCOBY? Just buy a raw kombucha drink with no flavors in it. Put that in some chilled sweet tea. Put a lid on it, like I said before. Let it chill for literally probably 2 months. It sucks. It'll start creating the organism, but if not, people make them around you. God, I hate to say Craigslist, because who knows how many people touch their shit and stick it in their kombucha and try to give it to people for free on Craigslist. It's probably not a probable scenario, but I hope this answers all your questions, or some of the bottling questions, because I get people frustrated. It's like, no, bottle it. It tastes like shit. I refrigerate it. Don't fucking refrigerate it. The more you chill and warm, the more bubbly and fermenty it gets. Boom. Peace out. Thanks for listening. Let me know if you have any questions. Turn it off.